So let's create a shader. Let's select the root node, and we'll add a primitive quad. We'll select the quad here. So let's create a basic texture shader. So the first thing that we're going to add is a texture state, and this will be our holder for our texture that we'll use in the shader. And so let's load a texture into here. Let's go test, open, data, open, images, open, and we'll go monkey. The other one. So we load that in. So now we have our texture loaded. So right click on quad and select new render state and select GLSL shader object state. Done. Okay. So now if we click that at shader, we have an interface to our shader. So currently it's just got a very standard vertex and fragment shader, which will just basically make our object white. So the first thing that we will need is a uniform specifying our location of our texture. So we click new uniform, and we'll call this the texture, and it's an integer 1, and create. And so if we select it, you can see that it's pointing to unit 0 for the texture. So let's write our texture shader. So we need to get the texture coordinates that we're going to use for texturing our texture set up. So GL text coord 0 dash or text coord 0 is just equal to GL multi text coord 0, and our front color we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so now in our fragment shader, let's create a uniform, and we'll call it that texture, and that's a sampler 2D. Okay, and let's get the color from our texture lookup vec3. This color is equal to vec3 texture 2D, our sampler, which is the texture, and the coordinate into it, which is GL text coord 0, and the ST coordinates from that. And then finally we just set the color equal to new vec color 1.0. Okay, so now we can compile both our shaders. Okay, a constructor too many arguments cannot, and that would be in our texture 2D, or sorry, here we've specified the wrong type. So compile fragment shader, so update shader, and there we have our shader applied. So also with the shader, we can save the shader by selecting file, save shaders. We'll call it simple texture, location to save to, and let's say test, new folder, shaders, test, save. And that's creating a shader in SceneWorker.